All right. Okay. I am back to be doing some streaming today. So, how you guys doing? I was just about to sleep. Yeah. All right. So today I am going to be doing some. I'm going to be working on episode 10, actually, and so I'm going to kind of do some stuff with the 3D model that I made of the restaurant, because episode 10 partially takes place in the restaurant, so I still have to kind of mess around with that. And maybe you guys will find out, well, you'll see how I do the 3D stuff, because that might be interesting to some people. It's kind of I do this sort of like hacky kind of roundabout method, but it works, so whatever works, right? How do I do this clown? I guess you're talking about the guy in the corner. Check out the description. I actually updated my FAQ, so I got a whole bunch more questions in there answered. And unfortunately, I don't know Russian, so if anyone's speaking Russian, I will not be able to understand you. So I guess I'll get right into it. Yeah, it might take me a while to kind of get my bearings on this, because every time I do a new 3D thing, I'm like struggling because I don't really know what I'm doing. But yeah, so I'll just get started, I guess. I'm going to duplicate that if I can. Okay, I'll just rename it. I'm going to call it a restaurant. I forget how to spell restaurant now. Just call it sitting at table. And oh, you're in the Philippines, eh? Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Where am I from? I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia, but I'm in Montreal right now. Oh, there you go, restaurant. Okay. Well, anyway, so if you guys have After Effects, you may not know that it actually comes with Cinema 4D Lite, which is pretty sweet, because you can do a lot of stuff with even just the light version of it. And so the weird thing is, you can't like open up this file unless you use a keystroke command, which is Control E on Windows. I don't know why it does that. It's so weird, but that's how it works. So Cinema 4D will open up. Cracky X. I did take drawing lessons. I went to an art school, so I had to practice a lot about like drawing people and stuff. I'm still not really that great, so I still use a lot of tracing. And Carolina helps me out when I'm drawing people. Anyway, so here's this model I made, and I made it in SketchUp, and then I imported the. Shit, what am I doing? See, I still don't like understand. Okay, there we go. And then I imported it into Cinema 4D so that I can. I'm still trying to figure out how to move things around. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, whatever. Let's just do this. So you can see this is my model. It took me like. It doesn't take very long to do stuff in SketchUp if you know how to use SketchUp, because like you can just do one ceiling light and then just duplicate it. Is Carolina at large today? She's She's actually sitting out on the balcony, so she might come in later. Well, thank you, Conrad. What would you say is your least favorite video of mine? Probably, well, I have to look at them because I actually kind of forget what I made sometimes. What would yeah, I guess like if I were to change stuff. And the thing is, with episode 4, I'm not super happy of interface. I'm not super happy about how I drew some of the characters, especially the little kids. So I guess that one, maybe I would redo parts of it. Otherwise, I'm not really, I'm pretty happy with most of the stuff I've been making. There's some things I would change now, though, if I could go back and re-upload them. But the thing with YouTube is you'd have to like completely re-upload everything. You can't just like replace a movie file. So I don't bother. Shitpost Nave. Oh, well, thank you. It's, hello. Hello from Russia. How are you doing? Do you just create everything around the music, or do you have a precise scenario for the series? Cracky X, it's a little bit of both. I use the music to kind of get an idea of where I want to go, and then I try to make it fit in with the narrative that I have slowly developed over the past couple of months. What are my goals with interface, if any? I guess my goal would be to kind of tell a story through a surrealistic sort of way and kind of have some sort of meaning without hitting people over the head with the meaning, and also to not really expressively say what the meaning is. Oh my god, we got a lot of people in here today. 170 people. That's like the most I've ever had. So thank you guys for coming in and listening. And if you guys have questions and I miss it, you can just say it again. Maybe I'll get back to it. It's just that the chat's probably going to be moving a lot quicker than usual. Okay, so what was I doing here? I was going to, yeah, so I made a model in 3D, and the reason for that is so I can do some like crazy camera moves like this. And, but also, if I'm doing a lot of like back and forth kind of things, like over the shoulder kind of things, instead of me having to like redraw everything with a perspective, sometimes it helps to just do it in 3D. And then you can just move the camera around, and then you kind of just have the backgrounds already done. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Thunderchild, I stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So if you go on Twitch, type in Umami Animations, one word, and you'll find it. Rebecca Ball, I do the voices for Mischief, so it's my own voice, but I do a lot of manipulation to it, obviously. Hello from France. Hello to you. I went to visit France last year. I went to Paris. On the way visiting Poland. You gotta stop with the nervous chuckles. Well, honestly, I mean, I haven't never really spoken to 187 people at once, so the more streams I do, I guess the better I'll get at it, but, you know. Alright, I'm gonna try to get some work done here. So, Mischief, well, I don't want to ruin it for you guys, so I'm not gonna, like, really say what the story's happening, but, yeah, I'll just kind of... Unfortunately, it's hard to see things when it's, like, cel-shaded like this. Why did I visit Poland? It's because Carolina her grandparents are Polish. Well, Carolina's Polish, and she hasn't visited her parents and grandparents in like over a decade, so that's why we went. And I went to like most of the major cities. I went to well, we arrived in Warsaw, but then we also went to geez, man, I'm drawing a blank right now. Sorry. Krakow, and is it Lublin? Wrocław? I think we passed Wrocław. We went to Nowy. Okay, so I'm actually not sure how I'm going to do this shot, but basically Mischief and Henrik are sitting at a table in this part of the next episode, so I'm just going to have a shot down here. Maybe they'll be sitting together. Say Maple, what did you ask? Sorry, it's just there's so many questions. I haven't really been able to read everyone's. Let me scroll up here. Hey, Say Maple, just ask the question again, and I'll answer it for sure. What do you think about the prospect of getting your work translated? That's pretty awesome, man. Like, people have been translating it into like all sorts of different languages, like Russian and Spanish and Hungarian and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. Shit, I just messed up. Just goes to show how much I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to Cinema 4D. I actually like this table more. Not that you can really see it, but there we go. There we go. Okay. Is Cami your personal thoughts and fears regarding AI? I don't know if it's my fears so much as it's just kind of like where I think maybe it's like a metaphor for where things are going. What does the pink entity represent? Say Maple. That's a good question, because I don't really like explaining the kind of characters and the lore. I kind of like to leave that up to people watching it, but my idea is that because of his ability to transform into different things, he kind of represents like individualism. You know what I mean? He's able to he has a lot of freedom, and he's not constrained by a collective consciousness. That's my idea behind the pink guy. I'm just gonna let's see here. I gotta just resize something because I don't usually have this many people in here, and my layout is getting messed up. Okay, there we go. Is merchandise or Patreon creating you more profit? It's definitely the Patreon for sure, and that. But however, I've been surprised that the merchandise, like people are buying up the merchandise like crazy, especially the Mischief hoodie. Like I was like a big pink sweater with like a big face on it. Like I didn't think people would be buying it so much, but it's like a popular item. So. I wouldn't know if he's like exactly transcended. I don't really like using the word transcending because it kind of alludes to like, I don't know, I feel like it's overused as a word. Yeah, I might have to get a moderator sometime, I guess. Yeah. $1,000 Uzi. I actually don't know anything about those games in particular. But check out the FAQ because I mentioned a few video games that I do know down below, right at the bottom. I just updated it today. So, okay, so I'm going to just make sure I don't mess this up by clicking the keyframe button, wherever that is. Okay, it's right here, I think. Record active objects. Now it won't disappear. Okay, good. Can I get some Mischief undies, please? So far, it's only kind of limited to what's on Teespring. They don't have underwear on there, unfortunately. Thank you, Straight3123. And have I watched Blade Runner? Yeah, I've definitely seen Blade Runner. I haven't even seen the new one. I love the aesthetics of the new one, but I'm not so much a fan of the story. I felt could have used some more work, I guess. It's been a while since I've seen it. I can't really talk too much about it. Okay, so I got my camera here. Ewin the human. When it comes to doing the interface stuff, I feel like it has a lot more value in terms of people appreciating it, and that I feel like if I just continue doing the interface stuff, it could actually turn into something kind of like with a following. If I just stuck to doing like the meme videos or whatever, I don't think the channel would be as memorable. But I do like doing the memes because if I were to do an episode of Interface every month, it would just be way too much work for me. It would be draining. So I do the meme videos kind of like sporadically so that there's something to watch in between doing the interface stuff. When I started the channel, I didn't know I was going to be doing the interface stuff. I just started doing those McDonald's videos. I didn't know what I was going to do. So the background sounds fit perfectly. What do you use for sound, and do you use your own audio? Say Maple. Actually, check the description on that one because I wrote a whole bunch about what I use, which is basically I use Logic and I do the music myself. So, has putting interface on Amazon Video helped much? No, it hasn't really helped much at all. Actually, it's like dead because I think the algorithm on Amazon is like they changed a lot of what's going on in Amazon Video, and I'm not too keen on their direction, but basically they're not promoting independent stuff as much as they used to. So who knows? It might change in the future. I haven't been updating the last couple episodes to it though. Blank Pink, have you ever decided to team up with other animators on YouTube? I have considered it, yeah, and I'm probably might still do that, you know. But okay, so I'm gonna just mess around here for a bit. I gotta change the field of view a bit. Okay. I'm not even sure if I like how this is gonna look. I might just end up drawing it myself because sometimes it's hard to get the right camera angle. But I guess I'll just do this so you guys can see kind of what it looks like when I do things in 3D. Okay, let's just say that's what it's going to look like for now. So I was going to save this for a second. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Whatever. Let's save this as something else. RC 10, I guess. Favorite singer? I don't really have one. Sorry. Oscar, and if you can PM me on Discord or send me a message, go to the About page, and you'll find my contact information, like my email address. So if you want to send me a message. Let's see. Let's answer a question here. I'm gonna have to be more selective now. I can't answer them all like I used to because there's so many of them. Did you go to art school? What do you do for a living? Okay, so I answered this one a lot, but I'll answer it now. It's I went to art school in Nova Scotia. I went to the what do you call it? Shit, I just messed up there. Okay. I went to Nasca University, which is like an art school. And what I do for a living is I edit videos for companies, like corporate videos and stuff like that, freelance. However, this channel's been growing so quickly that I've been kind of doing this like a lot more than my day job. So if the channel continues to grow at the rate that it's growing, I'll just end up doing this probably full time because the corporate stuff is not exactly the most interesting thing to be doing. Sometimes it is, though. Depends on what the project is. Okay. Sorry if it's taking so long, guys. I'm just... Carl Marx Karks. How old am I and how long I've been animating? I'm 28, and I haven't really been animating that long. I'm just gonna save this. I started the channel a year ago. Before, when I was a kid, like when I was a teenager, I used to do a lot of stop motion animation with like Lego and that sort of thing. But I haven't really done like drawn animation before, so I have a background in art, so it's not so much that I can't draw. I can draw if I like. It's just that doing the animation, figuring that all out, has been hard. So you can tell the episodes have kind of slowly increased in quality. Have you ever considered doing another album? I have. It's just the problem is I've been doing like all these episodes of Interface, and it's hard to do the album and Interface at the same time. Okay, I have to take something here. Oh man, I'm really not having a good time with this today. Adam Levy, by the way, thank you for donating $5 there. I forgot to mention it. And I really appreciate that, Adam Levy, if you're still in here. And also, the creator Theta, thank you for the super chat. I just got that enabled recently. I didn't realize I could do it as a Canadian. If you ever wanted an animator, I'd join. The creator Theta, send me your stuff. I guess I could click on your YouTube channel here. Yeah, I'm not really looking for someone right now because I've been getting a lot of offers, but in the future I'd probably really have to get some people to help me out because it's like a lot of work. It's going crazy. Hey, Ethan Poland, well, thank you for that comment. All right, guys, let's see if I can do this. I just have a feeling I'm wasting my time with this right now, the Cinema 4D. Because I just have a hard time with it. So let's just see here. Like, I don't even know how to copy a freaking keyframe. I'm going crazy. Okay. Somehow I managed to get it to work in some episodes. I was like, alright. Because I wanted some 3D stuff. And, okay, let's see here. Move this camera over here. I think the main problem is I get it all set up and I forget to press the keyframe button. And that's just the worst. Because then I lose everything. Alright, let's not forget to press the keyframe button. Core to active objects. Okay, so that's my keyframe. Now, how do you copy that? I don't know. Can I just go controls? Not alt? No. Are you hired as an animator, or is this just a hobby? Well, I mean, it kind of started out as a hobby, and then the channel's been growing, and I got a commission, so now I guess I'm actually hired as an animator. So it's more of a job now than it was. You can auto keyframe, you know, right? Yeah, right. Just there's like an auto keyframe button somewhere right there. Is that what it is? But how do you like duplicate a keyframe? That's what I want to know. Let me just look this up, guys. I'm sorry. My like incompetence at Cinema 4D. Duplicate keyframe Cinema 4D. Do you have any phobias? Stuff that gets under your skin? I got a phobia of, I got like arachnophobia. I don't like spiders that much. Okay. In the keyframe window, select Control and drag the attributes. Yeah. Let's just go somewhere else. There you go. Select all the frames, Control drag them where you want. Control drag them. Alright, let's try this. Oh, it doesn't seem to be. Big H, the updates on the commission. It's I got half of it done, so there's still a half left to do. See, the copy button is grayed out, and that's what's throwing me off. You know what, guys? I'm just gonna move on to something else because this is just being a bitch today. I don't know what the fuck is happening. It's hard to do a live stream and like do complicated 3D stuff at the same time. So I'm just gonna minimize this and just do a shot that I need to do in Photoshop. Okay. All right. Come to Australia. Yeah, I've been hearing about those spiders in Australia. Apparently, they like. I got a friend that lived in Australia, and he says, well, he told me a story about how he was driving down the highway once, and the sun was in his eyes. So he took down the blind, the sunshade, and there was like a spider the size of his hand. Like it just fell in his lap. I'm gonna reset my Wacom. Maybe it's just messed up today. Okay. Umami, I mean, Big H, you don't live in Brazil, do you? I thought you were from England. The 3D gives cancer at times, yeah. I mean, if I were to hire an animator, honestly, I'd probably hire someone that does 3D first, because, I mean, I can do the hand-drawn stuff for the most part, but, like, the 3D stuff is just, like... and, it's, you know, especially since I don't really know what I'm doing. I tried to learn Blender, and I was like... it's just too much for me, you know what I mean? Like, I only get to do so much when I'm doing these animations. I don't want to, like, bite off more than I can chew, so... anyway. So this shot is basically just a bunch of food on a table, and it shouldn't be too hard. What's my taste in music? Actually, check the description, because there's I put a playlist in there, and you guys have tons of, there's a lot of music in there that I listen to. Yeah, razor blades and apples, eh? It's happened around here a few times, actually. I'm not really sure why people do that. I mean, it's just some weird sickos or something. Konfika, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You guys can give me some. You guys can give me some like things you want me to draw in terms of food, and I'll put it on the table. Keep in mind, it's like a restaurant with a Japanese chef, so hopefully it's sort of like related to that, not just like bananas or something. But give me some things that I'll draw, and I'll like if you want to see Mischief eat something, basically, just give me some stuff and I'll draw it. Mr. Brainiac is I'm using a tablet. Yeah. Some unused channel. If Nabieski is born in 1910, he's over 100 years old. Where does the series take place? Oh, well, that's a good question, because if the series takes place in present time, that means that the Nabieski is quite an old dude. Yeah, I gotta get some drawing here. I don't want this to be like such a boring live stream. Sorry, guys. Shrimp and fish eyes, grilled Mormons. Mormons? Grilled Mormons? Is that like a food, or are you saying? I had to look that one up. Alien octopus sashimi, chicken soup, sake beer or something, pineapple sushi, an Easter egg for the end of an era. Do the Beetlejuice tail bucket? Let me look this one up. And also grilled Mormons. Tail bucket. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm talking grilled Mormons. All right. Wonton bowl with a syringe in it. Okay. Let's see. It was a wonton bowl. So that's one of those bowls. Okay. The syringe. Sushi, yogurt, please. Cricket, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Or I don't know if you're a man or not, but I appreciate that, Cricket. Okay, I'm gonna get some stuff here, and I'm going to draw it. I need to, I don't really do live streams that much, and before doing my animation channel, I never really spoke to people in quantities, so it's a bit out of my element for me to be doing this, but ribs and brisket. A Stouffer's frozen meal. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny actually. Just have a box of stiltons on the side there. Like you go to a restaurant, he just serves up a box of stiltons. Crickets. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's put some crickets out here. Spaghetti or some noodles. Oh, that's a good one, Ali. Because he does like to use spaghettification as his. Maybe I'll make this bowl full of spaghetti. I'll have him slurp it up like that scene in Man on the Moon with Andy Kaufman. Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman. You guys see that movie? YouTube oncologist, where do you get the inspiration for your art style? It's memorizing. Well, if you can, a lot of it comes from kind of people who've drawn stuff before. I mean, like David Firth, there's a certain aesthetic to his stuff, but also there's some paintings that I like to try to emulate, or the style of movie directors, I guess. If you check out the description, I got a whole bunch of links down there to like specific people's names, especially painters and that sort of thing. Also, I mean, like other YouTubers too, like Pilot Red Sun was probably an inspiration, well, definitely an inspiration for the pixelated nature of things. You can, no, the creative thread, I'll definitely get it if you direct message me on, my server, Discord, I'll definitely get it. And I'll respond. I checked everything, make sure it's cleared out. Or yeah, just send me a message, like an email. If you go to my About page on YouTube, you'll find my email address. I try to get back to everyone, unless it's like just spam or whatever. But green bean sriracha should be on the side dish. So sriracha, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I'll look that one up. Green bean. Oh yeah, okay. I think I've had some of this before. Just put some of that on the side too. Next to it is spaghetti and meatballs, which doesn't really make any sense, but it's funny, I guess. It's like when you go to those restaurants and they got like Italian food and Japanese food. And it doesn't make any, like, you should pretty much avoid those restaurants, because it's like, how are they supposed to be able to do completely different foods like that? Well, have some noodles. Like, I guess this wasn't really be spaghetti then. It could just be like a noodle dish. It's like Asian noodles or something. Oh man, guys. Yeah, the creator thread. Just send a direct message. I'll definitely get it, and I'll get back to you by the end of the day for sure. Or email me. Yeah, I'll get back to you. I don't like how this looks down here, so I'm gonna erase that. I don't know why it's on a separate layer. Just move it down. I haven't figured out how many episodes of Interface I'm going to be doing. I want to kind of tell the story that I'm making without it feeling rushed, and I want to have a lot of backstory, and I want to have a lot of like I just don't want it to feel rushed. You know what I mean? So I really don't know how many episodes I'm going to be doing. However, I can say that I'm not even really close to getting to the end of what I wanted to do. So I might, like, if I get to a point in the story and there's like a major turning point, I might just say that's the end of the season. And then they'd be like, so it's kind of like released in chunks or whatever. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? I have a feeling that if I just keep doing this, it's probably going to be like, there might be more than 50 episodes if I just keep doing this, you know? It's just going to take a long time. Thing is I think it could be pretty cool if it was just like something that I just keep doing, you know? And then there's like this huge reservoir of like interface animations that people can go back to and on YouTube and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Viaje Chocolate. Well, thank you. I appreciate that comment. Yeah, I mean, everyone's just some normal dude at the end of the day. I mean, it's like, if you guys watched the podcast with Elon Musk, he seems pretty normal. I mean, like, you know, pretty normal people. They just, everyone just kind of, I feel like a lot of times people get like people built up in their heads and stuff. And I don't know. I'm just some dude that sits on my computer and draws in my underwear half the time. In the summer, at least, when it's like fucking 300 degrees outside. I don't know if I'm going to change the colors of these or not, but it's just, for now, just have a bowl. Do you think you'll create more animations like the end of an era? It's hard to say yes or no, because it's like, I had that idea and it just kind of came out of nowhere, but it's like coming up with something like that where it kind of like throws people for a loop. It's hard for me to do like repeatedly. It's only like, I'll probably do another one, but I don't know. It might be several months before I come up with something like that. I don't know why that video blew up so much. I guess it kind of, people clicked with it or something. It kind of related to it or something, you know? I guess, do you guys know that channel Justin Y or whatever, who like comments on all the YouTube videos? He stopped like commenting on videos after watching that video. It's like the last video on his channel that he liked. I thought that was kind of funny. Ethan Nadio, I'm surprised you don't work with Adult Swim. I don't really know if I can say anything right now, but I'm just going to say that there is stuff in the works, so you may see something in the future with them. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I you know, just if you stick around, you'll probably see something with them. Yeah. It was in the algorithm. The algorithm shows you. Yeah, the algorithm is a weird thing. I don't know what it's like. I don't know how it works or why it decides to make something. But I've been noticing recently my stuff's been getting put in the algorithm a lot longer than when I first started the channel. I guess it's just because the channel's been growing. Speaking of Adult Swim, have you seen Joe Parrott Talks With You? It's a less wacky version. I haven't seen that, actually. No, sorry. Well, thank you, CQ Rebirth. Who do I get to do the voices? So I do the voice of Mischief, and usually I hire a voice artist. And otherwise, I've been getting a lot of people coming up and asking or offering to do a voice for free and stuff. And I've been very selective, and there's some people I still would like to work with. I just haven't gotten back to them because there's a limited amount of characters in my episodes of interface, and so usually though I go looking around on like voice acting sites, and I try to find people that do voices that don't sound very cartoony. I find that actually difficult, because a lot of people who advertise that they do voices for cartoons will do like a really cartoony kind of voice. And I think that you can do animations without cartoony voices. Like, I don't understand why when I watch television and there's like new animations that come out or on Netflix, everyone just sounds so like chippy and loud. And like, why can't it be like King of the Hill? You know what I mean? When like the people are just normal, but it's also animated. So I try to get people who can like act for real as well. So, you know, oddly enough, the last guy I got, who's the guy who did the sushi chef voice, Yoshi Ando. Apparently, he does the voices of the Japanese guy in the latest Civilization game. It's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that when I was looking for his voice, but someone mentioned that when I posted that video. You know, maybe if the channel grows enough, I'll get someone special like Gary Busey to do a voice. That'd be kind of funny. I have no idea how much he charges though. But I did find that he has a talent agent, so I could reach out to them. Umami, what's your favorite DPI/resolution? Well, I don't really have a favorite DPI. I mean, I'm just using 640 by 480 because that's like standard definition. And kind of, in my opinion, like one of the better resolutions to kind of work with the pixelated stuff, because it's just enough that you can see the pixels, but it's not like so low res that it kind of looks like an 8-bit animation. Because I'm not really going for like the 8-bit kind of aesthetic, just kind of like an early 90s computer aesthetic, I guess. Okay, there's supposed to be like green beans or something in this one, so I'll color them in for this. Could you make the astronomical sequence a poster? He's in Rubio. I guess that shot with the Earth and stuff. I'll write it down. I mean, I might be able to do that. Did you ever watch Eliantos' surreal edits of King of the Hill episodes? Yeah, I've definitely seen them all. They're amazing. I subscribe to that guy. His stuff is pretty great. If you did a Halloween special this year, I've been thinking about doing a Halloween bonus video. I just don't know what to do really, so I'm thinking about doing it, and I might come up with something kind of spooky, spooky in like a stupid way, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I probably should do a Halloween thing. That would make sense. Yeah, I've done a ton of live streams before, so if you guys want to find them, they're actually on a playlist called live streams. I don't make them public, so if you go to my channel, you won't see them, but if you go to the playlist section or the main page, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of live streams there. And the reason why I do that is just so I don't clog my channel up with a bunch of live streams. How long do my animations take me? They usually take, well, it's getting longer now, but for like 3-minute animations, they take around 40 to 60 hours. the longer ones, like the ones that go up to like 6 minutes, it takes about 60, 70 hours, I guess. Because the thing is, you gotta include like the time that I use to make the music and stuff as well. And because I have to make the music and then do the animations, and then if there's some 3D stuff, then it gets even more complicated. It takes a while. And I also have to come up with a story too, and that's another hard part. That's actually the hardest part, figuring out where to go next, because if I actually had everything written down in terms of story, it would just be a matter of me just doing the work, which isn't so bad. Actually, this should be dark green down here. And I'll do bright green on top. By astronomical, I meant the latest episode, the part where Cammy... Oh, okay. Yeah, Aizen, I was thinking of doing something like that. I might do a poster like that, actually. It's probably a good idea. I'll try to do it in a couple days, I guess. Sylvester. Cool stream, Dad. Keep up the good work. All right. Well, thank you, Sylvester. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people say, like, do you do drugs and stuff when you do your animation? And no, because I don't. Because it's not... I've never really done stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like you don't need to if you want to be creative. It's actually, sometimes it's a deterrent because you need a lot of focus to get stuff done. And if you're like high all the time, you just... It doesn't even necessarily mean you'll have good ideas. It just means you'll have like random ideas, I feel, you know. So, no, not really. I mean, I just drink coffee and stuff. And that's about it, really, you know. Okay, so there's some green beans. I guess there should be like some fish and stuff here too. Hey, Umami, do you have any tips for writing interesting stories and characters? Sal, I guess the only tip I would say is if you're drawing a character, you have to ask yourself, why does the character look the way that he does? And I think that's something that people need to incorporate more in their stuff. They have to ask themselves why they're drawing someone a certain way. Because, I mean, really, yeah, I drew this pink clown guy, kind of was like, oh, this guy's kind of funny looking, you know? But a lot of characters, you know, you kind of have to have a reasoning behind why they are the colors that you chose. And it doesn't even have to really make sense. It just has to make sense to you. And I think that those will help you have stronger characters in the end. Because I find a lot of times people do character design, and it just seems so, like, random or arbitrary or, you know. It's important. I went to film school or art school, but I went to film classes too. And my film professor said that you should write like backstories to all your characters, even if it's not in your movie. Like you should just write like a page or something about the character. Like what is the character about? Because that will help you develop your story and stuff in the future. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you just kind of have a character that doesn't really have a purpose, I guess, or it doesn't have really like an innate character, innate personality, you know. I don't know if that makes any sense. Big H, yeah, I usually try to reply to everyone. It's definitely been getting a lot harder than it used to be. I still have been able to pretty much respond to everyone, but yeah, I don't know. It's getting difficult now because it's like I get a lot of emails every day now. It's crazy, but I'm getting back to everyone, you know. Do you speak French? Yeah, I can speak French. Yeah, I can speak French. It's just it's not very good. It's rough French. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is about character design. Is that, yeah. I haven't really been keeping up too much with new animations. I'm not really it's a weird thing is that I'm not really a big fan of animation. I do like Studio Ghibli stuff a lot, and Production IG's animations, and I liked King of the Hill back in the day when that was on. All right, so so far this is like an hour and a half, and I got 2 bowls of noodles. Usually I get more work done than this, but I kind of use these live streams more of like an outlet to talk with fans more than actually getting work done, because it's just been getting harder to do work like this. Really got to focus when I'm doing, but using it as an outlet, talking with you guys, is probably one of the better things to be doing with it. What is my favorite Mischief line? Could I do it with voice? I don't really have a favorite Mischief line, and I'd actually, that's one thing I'm not going to be doing anymore, is the voice on the live stream, because I don't want it to be one of those things that like becomes a regular thing. So I just save the voice for the animations now. I do like how Mischief kind of just announces whatever form he takes without anyone really asking. I mean, it's quite obvious that he turns into a bus, for example. I didn't do that in the last episode when I turned into a fly. Sometimes it's just a matter of pacing and, like, you know, and if I do it every single time, it might get a little bit tiring. Or, like, it won't be as funny, you know? So you do it, like, when it matters, I guess. How often do you brush your teeth? Try to do it at least twice a day. Well, I definitely do it twice a day, sometimes 3, 4 times. Depends on if I drink coffee or not. Because coffee can really make you stinky. I've been animating for the last week, like 10 hours a day. I swear to fuck, I make the slowest progress. Yeah, it's pretty it's like hard to do animation. It's so slow, man. Especially if you do something and you screw up. Like, you just wasted basically a couple hours. So, alright, so what were some of the other things you guys have said that you want me to draw? Someone said, like, some sushi or some shinny or something like that. Why do people always ask us about drugs when everything's surreal? I don't know, because the thing is, you know what Salvador Dali said is, he doesn't take drugs either. He didn't. He says that he doesn't need them, and his stuff is all surreal, you know. Do you have the whole story interface? It's something I've been working on. King Quiddy. It's not all laid out, but parts of it are there. Cooked octopus. I think that's one of those things. That's one of the things I'm not going to be drawing, is cooked octopus, because although the octopus does eat sea creatures, she wouldn't be cooking up octopus. Because he's like a predator, but he's not like a cannibal. I don't know if octopus actually eat other octopus in the wild, though. Maybe they do. Freaktum. Please subtitle your videos to Spanish. I can't, because I don't speak Spanish, but other people have been translating them to Spanish, so thank you to those guys who have been doing that, but unfortunately I don't speak Spanish, so I can't do that myself. I do it in English. That's about it. So, and I just do it in English because sometimes the voices are hard to hear. How about squid, shellfish, oysters? Okay, I'll do some. Let's do some oysters. Let me just get a reference image here. Oops, I typed in reference image in Google. That's so stupid. Okay. All right, so let's get like a plate of oysters. Could you draw camel spiders on the table? Let me look this one up too. Oh, camel spiders. Jeez, that's creepy. Yeah, I guess I could draw a couple. Put it on a plate like an octopus cooked it or something. I'll draw that after the oysters. I'm not going to draw the soup, not the soup sun, because it would basically be like putting in something surreal for the sake of it without having a purpose behind it. So I won't do that. But Jedi Craftmaster, how you doing? How much money have you spent on the interface series? I guess in terms of like hiring voice actors and stuff, probably like over $1,000, I think. Yeah, it's just, so I haven't really been keeping track of it. All right, I gotta look at the reference image of oysters again because okay, there's like a shell. It's kind of jaggedy. I guess I got it for the most part. Maybe I should just copy the image onto my drawing here. That way I can see. Yeah, because the thing is, you want to get voice actors that are actually, they got a good microphone and it's clear and crisp, and they also have the ability to act. And usually these voice actors are, well, it's their job, right? So they need to be paid relatively properly. John 144, definitely, yeah. I've been able to, do this full time now because thanks to the Patreons and stuff. And hiring the voice actors is just a small part of it, but I've been able to support myself to a better degree now, and I really appreciate you guys supporting me. Because, and basically with the Patreon stuff, as that grows, that just means we're going to be able to get better voice actors or more famous voice actors. Like I might do a bonus video with someone like I mentioned already, like Gary Busey or something like that. I think that'd be hilarious. I like Gary Busey. I think he's pretty cool. I don't know why this is not okay. Oh, it's not on the wrong layer. Okay. Are you trying to advertise your series in any way? Right now, I haven't really been advertising it. However, do you guys know of the channel Nightmare Expo? There's a channel called Nightmare Expo, and he asked me to do like a review on the interface series. And so that's going to be coming out in, I don't know when it's going to come out, but a couple of weeks maybe. And that will probably bring in some more viewers. I haven't really been advertising it though. What did you lay eye on, especially in last time? Sorry, I don't really understand the question, but yeah, cinematography is a big part of it. I don't know. I try to use my background experience from going to film school to incorporate the cinematography in ways that most animations don't really do too much. Speaking of Patreon, have you ever considered a higher tier, or would you leave that to the individual? I wouldn't really know what to have as a higher tier, so I mean, I would consider it, but I don't know what to offer, you know? So if someone had ideas, I mean, the thing is, I don't really know what I could do that wouldn't occupy too much time. Maybe it's like a special item or something, I don't know. John 11144, that'd be pretty crazy if I got over $1 million. Mysterious Gamer, go ahead, ask the question, and hopefully I'll get to it. Yeah, because I mean, I think it makes a big difference when you get a good voice actor or voice actress. Like the lady I hired for episode, I think it was 5 ever, Henrik's daughter. She did an amazing job, and it was worth. I want to hire her again, actually, for another part. The same character, just a different episode, because she did such a good job. This one's a little too far away. I've been using TTS instead of my voice for years now. Temp name, what do you mean TTS? What is TTS? Wild Boar Productions, I'm pretty much an introvert. So doing these live streams is kind of out of my element. And I mean, I guess I can be an extrovert. Depends on my mood, but most of the time I'm just some sort of shy dude. So these look like eggs. They don't really look like oysters. I guess when I color them, maybe they need to be like more like off center, I think. You don't need to offer anything that you haven't already, but you'd be surprised at people's generosity for creators like yourself. The only other creator that's similar to you is Dave Firth. Well, thank you, Vigil. I've kind of just been leaving it for now. I've actually, some people who want to contribute more, they usually just choose a smaller tier and then they make the amount higher, and which is pretty awesome. I don't know if I should put a super high tier there because I don't really want people. Honestly, I don't want people spending that much money per month unless they're like super rich. You know, if you guys had like a couple bucks, that's like a dollar, even just $1. I think that's more than enough because if you get like a lot of them at once, then it's like, you know, it's not hurting anyone's pocketbook because it's just a small amount. And you know, I personally wouldn't pay that much per month on a supporter, on someone else's support. I mean, unless they were super good. But I mean, that's why I don't really want to encourage people paying too much on my Patreon, like more than $20. I feel like it's too much, but some people do it, and I really appreciate it when they do it. I do a bit of voiceover. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna just scroll up here. I might have missed some stuff. Oh, text to speech. That's what it is, right? A billboard somewhere. You know what, John? That'd be pretty cool to do. I might do it. I don't think they actually cost that much. I mean, they do. They cost like probably over $1,000, but like, I think it's within reach. The thing is, I don't know how many people would actually go to my animations from a billboard. You know what I mean? Hey, Helter Skelter. Hey, Helter Skelter. There's like a Japanese movie called Helter Skelter. Did you see that one? I saw it at the Montreal Fantasia Film Festival a couple years ago. Okay, there's like, I don't know what it is, like salt or something here? Or is it like, it's like ice, right? Usually when they serve scallops. Rising Sunwalker, hello. Why is medium rare your middle tier? You know what you should do with people who don't want their burgers medium rare? We ask them politely and firmly to leave. Yeah, I don't know why I decided to make it like the temperatures of meats as my tier. I don't know. I guess it makes sense with my name, Umami, maybe, or something. That movie was pretty good. All right, I'll see you, Helter Skelter. I don't know if you're leaving, but thanks for hanging out. You thought I had the same voice of the pink worm character. Well, if I had a voice like that, I'd probably have to like smoke 30 cigarettes a day and like drink like a bottle of whiskey at the same time. It's like basically Vin Diesel's voice if he got punched in the throat. So hopefully those look like scallops and not eggs. Let's just color them in. Maybe that will help. Nope, that's a little bit too dark. They're gonna look like eggs, I know it. I'm just gonna put some like weird colors in there like that. Medium rare burgers. You can actually get medium rare burgers, and I had one medium rare once before. I went to a restaurant and they asked, and I just tried it. It's probably not a good idea though, because you're supposed to cook ground beef like all the way, because ground beef gets mixed around, and like basically when you sear a steak, you're searing the outside where the bacteria could be. The inside should be fine, but with ground beef, it's like basically the outside of the beef is in contact with whatever it is you're grinding, so it's not recommended. But I think if you, I don't know, it's probably not the best idea to eat a burger medium rare. Hey, Visual, thank you very much, man. Wild Boar, I'm probably going to be streaming for the next couple hours. Just because it's taking me so long to get stuff done, but I want to like get at least one shot done. Do you realize that with your tier ranking, your lower tier patrons are more umami than your raw patrons? Oh, because they're cooked more? It's not something I've been really thinking about too much, yeah. But yeah, there's some people that eat like tartare, which is basically just like ground meat that's completely raw, not even cooked at all. And there's a restaurant here in Montreal, and that does it. And apparently, like some people actually got like parasites. So I'm not going to be going to that place. It's pretty rare that it happens, but apparently they have to like get their food from like the cleanest of places, and even then, there's still a risk. It's not something I really want to try, honestly. Your mic is a bit crispy. Is it like that? I'm using like a really cheap Logitech webcam as my mic, so that's something I hope to upgrade in the future, because it probably doesn't sound great. Are you using an original score for Interface? Because I love the music. Monica Ryan. Yes, actually, everything in Interface I've been doing complete original score for. So that is, it's all original. Make a video about parasites. Maybe someday. Josh Parenti. Right now it's all digital. I've been kind of wanting to get into using a real synthesizer, like an analog synthesizer. I've been using a VCR in the past to kind of make things sound really warpy. So there's some tracks on Black Cake Volume 2 that has like some warpy effects. Based Shaman. Love your work. If I ever can do a voiceover for you free of charge, please reach out to me. Hey, Based Shaman, I actually saw your live stream, and I thought it was hilarious. So thank you for, because someone posted a comment to a link to it, and I watched it, and I was like, you're just like dead silent when you're watching that soup video. I thought, and then it was like, whoa, it's pretty cool, man. Thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate that a lot, man. And yeah, I love seeing like people watching my stuff, like their reactions to it. I think it's hilarious. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna like fill in the background here because I don't know what color white is. Okay, there it is. If that makes any sense. This is supposed to be like ice or something. What's your ideal setup to get work done? Well, right now, Riley, it would be a place where I'm not like overheating, because like this summer in Montreal has been brutal. And it's been so hot, I couldn't, like, even with the AC machine, it's just been nasty and gross. And I'm on like the top floor, this like kind of townhouse sort of thing, so like there's like a tar roof, and all the heat just gets trapped in there, and it gets pretty gross in this apartment sometimes. I had to like leave. Probably, you know, my ideal environment would be a place where I don't feel like nasty because of the humidity and stuff. But someday I'll get there, I guess. Just to, you know, that's how it is. Let's see what else is there. And yeah, Base Shaman, I'll keep you in mind. I've gotten a lot of people offering me stuff, and I just haven't really had enough characters to be able to offer everyone a part, you know. Because, but yeah, I appreciate the offer. What is your character based on? That's a good question, actually. It's not really... Alright, hold on, guys. Sorry. Scrolling through here. Why is everyone on YouTube these days Canadian? I don't know. Is everyone on YouTube Canadian these days? I haven't really been paying too much attention. It's because the cost of living in Montreal is so low. That's why. You can just kind of live here and not have to worry too much because the rent is not too expensive. Yeah. Name Surman. Yeah, Canada's supposed to be a permanently frozen wasteland. However, the past couple of years, it just seems to be getting warm. In Montreal, because it's an island surrounded by water, it gets really humid in the summer. So actually, it gets pretty hot, which most people wouldn't think of Montreal being really a hot place. But in the summer, excuse me, it gets really, really gross and hot. It's not like a dry heat, it's like a moist, damp heat, you know? Anyway. Please take me from Russia. I want to live there. What part of Russia are you from? I cannot pronounce that name. I'm not even going to try. I'm sorry. Am I constantly bombarded with news from the U.S.? Yes, I actually, and the thing is, it's kind of sad because we have shit going on in Canada, and for some reason, it's like non-stop stuff going on in the U.S., even on the Canadian news stations here. And I guess you can't ignore it though, because Canada has such a large relationship with the United States in terms of trade, and so whatever the Americans do has a big effect on what we do, and vice versa. Am I good at hockey? No, I played hockey when I was a kid. I used to skate on the frozen lake and stuff, but not so much anymore. Any plans on releasing the track from Interface Episode 7? Sometimes I play that. Josh Parenti. Right now, they are Patreon rewards. I think I released the one for Episode 7 on Patreon. I believe. If I didn't, I should check that. Right now, they're rewards, so until I release an album, and that might take a couple months or so. I don't know how long. Live near Moscow. Moscow is one of those places I want to visit, actually. I really want to see, and also St. Petersburg. I think Russia seems like a pretty cool place, you know. Political-wise, I don't really know too much, you know, about Russia, but cultural-wise, I would like to visit. I think it's nice. You guys got like a beautiful subway station. Like, incredible. I just want to see the subway station. Do you like Justin Trudeau? I usually try to avoid politics on here, but no, I don't really like him that much. I think he's just kind of just the worst kind of, you know, virtue signaling kind of person. That's about all I can say about him, really, you know. And yeah, I hope he's gone next election. Half of the world's getting bombarded with U.S. news. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, well, frig, man, the United States, the GDP is like, it's like all of the Europe combined or something, isn't it? I don't know. So you kind of have to pay attention to the U.S. news. I'm just scrolling through the comments here, guys. Okay, so maybe I would go, like, if I were to visit Russia, I'd go to St. Petersburg, you know, because it seems like a pretty sweet-looking place. I might want to move to Canada. Any tips? I don't have any tips for moving to Canada, other than that Canada is kind of a low-key place. It's, I mean, I'm from Halifax, and that's like a city where not too much happens, and it's very small, and people, you can like make a name for yourself in like a small pond sort of thing, you know what I mean? Montreal is, I really like Montreal. I think it's a pretty cool city, and there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of artists and stuff live here. Toronto is a huge city, and a little bit too busy for me. Thing is, it's weird. I don't really identify with most of the Canadian politics here. I identify more with like kind of more American politics, which is kind of a weird thing as a Canadian. But yeah, I don't really have any advice for moving to Canada other than that when you move here, you're going to be given maybe less opportunities than if you lived in the United States. And maybe that's not so true anymore because of the internet. You know, like I'm able to do this, right? It doesn't really matter where I live. I don't really know, man. I'm not a good person to ask, sorry. Trailer Park Boys is in Halifax, right? Yeah, they're from Halifax. Yeah. Alright, guys. What should I draw next? What would you go on the official podcast? Fear Woods. What's the official podcast? Which one are you talking about? It depends on the day, I guess. But now they got like 200 people in here. Usually there's like 60 people, so it's not so bad. But crazy. I might actually just have to like start ignoring the chat sometimes and just drawing because I know you guys want to ask me questions and stuff, but I feel like some people are here to just also see me draw. Oh, wait, someone said crabs or spider crabs or spider. Let me just post and get a picture here. Camel spiders. Criticals podcast. I haven't seen his. I didn't know he had a podcast, but if he were to ask me, I guess I would consider it and probably do it. Yeah. Maybe some sauce bottles. Lobsters. Okay, I'm going to draw a crab now. Or, a camel spider. Or like a plate of camel spiders. Let's put it right here. It's hard to get like the right perspective of a bowl or a plate. That's a big plate. Damn, it's not right either. Okay. I think that's all right. Let's make this plate have a little bit of depth to it. Make everything kind of look a little bit different. How long do you think this animation is going to be finished and all? So this is Interface episode 10, and I just basically started it, so I have no idea, but most likely I try to make them over 2 minutes now. Like the first couple were like, sometimes they're like a minute and a half. This next one might be like 4 minutes. It's hard to say though. People are like, you should make your animations longer on YouTube, but it's like, I could do that. However, it would take me like, it would just take me longer, and you would take a longer wait in between episodes. So I've been using some techniques to kind of make them longer and stuff, and I feel like if I put more dialogue in, it makes them longer too, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better if it just has more dialogue, you know? It's like a balancing act. Have you seen Memories 1995? It's a collection of 3 animated short films. No, sorry, man, I haven't seen that. And again, I'm drawing on the wrong layer, but whatever. Just a big tray sort of thing, put these camel spiders on. Shorter episodes more often is better than longer episodes left out. Yeah, I kind of have to agree. I don't want to be like one of those animators that like comes back every 4 months. You know, I want to have something out at least once a month, which has been really difficult for me to do, but I've been managing so far. Camel toes, huh? Okay. Do you know Pablo Oladell? No, sorry, I don't know him. I do not know him. Okay, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Is it 8? Do people really eat camel spiders? I don't really know. But if you know, in this universe, this chef is making some strange foods. So, oh jeez, I'm not even drawing the right layer. Okay, let me just fix something here. The whole 10-minute video suggestion from YouTube must be frustrating for animators. Yeah, the algorithm does work against me, but you know, it's not that bad actually. I've been growing pretty quickly despite that, so I feel like people are just like kind of, there's like not that much animation on YouTube, so if you do it, you can, and you do it like with effort, you can grow pretty quickly just because of that, you know, like people are looking for it. SCR Freak, thank you for the comment, man. I actually answered that question in my FAQ, so just check out the description and you will see a lot of stuff down there. Okay, I'm kind of just drawing this orange for now. Yeah, we'll touch it up later. Cheetah Man. I was kind of just like laying in bed, and then I thought, hey, it'd be kind of funny if a bowl of soup started just talking to you, and then like was kind of like mean, like it was like better than you, and then it kind of like developed out of this idea that like something about like the lineage and how he's going to outlast the woman's life, or you know, her descendants. So I don't really know where it came from. All I know is laying in bed and I started laughing. And I was like, I gotta write this one down. Have you ever considered trying other platforms? Which other platforms would you recommend attempting? Like Vimeo? Nah, not going to go to Vimeo. I don't like Vimeo. They, I feel like they're going to like go bankrupt in a couple of years. Also, I have a Vimeo account, but nah, I think it's easier to grow on YouTube definitely more than Vimeo. Yeah. I feel like they have a lot to catch up on in terms of like, you know, as much as people hate on the algorithm, I think YouTube's algorithm is pretty good for the most part. It's just some things that are kind of screwed up. Okay, this is a weird looking camel spider. For 3D artists, though, Vimeo is pretty sweet. I did see a lot of, that's the place to find cool 3D stuff, is for sure. I feel like there's a lot of stuff on YouTube, and the algorithm never really promotes it, and it just goes unnoticed. Like, I actually subscribe to a lot of channels that have like less than 1,000 followers, and I feel like some of their stuff would actually do pretty well if more people saw it. And I actually try to post stuff on like Reddit and stuff like that. I got on my Umami. I try to share some of the lesser known stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't catch on. I don't know why people just don't. People have like an aversion to like clicking something that's different or new, you know? I don't know. The thing with YouTube's algorithm is you have to keep animating or like keep doing stuff. If you stop, your subscribers drop off, and then it's really hard to recover, I think. What is your obsession with McDonald's characters? Well, I don't really know if it's an obsession, because I've only made 3 animations about them, but I kind of wanted to just do like a trilogy of the main characters there. People have been asking me to do another one, and I just haven't really been able to come up with an idea. I've been more interested in doing the interface stuff at this point, and I believe that you should always kind of be moving forward with certain things. You shouldn't be going backwards, and I feel like maybe the McDonald's stuff has kind of run its course for me. I'm not sure. There should be like at least 2 of them on the plate here, I think. Yeah, I really like the Watchmen, even the comic book and the movie. I like them both, and I'm definitely inspired by that stuff. Andre Selmayer, what resources did you use to learn animation when you were just starting out? I had a background in stop frame animation from a long time ago. On brickfilms.com, like a long time ago, 15 years ago. And that's what I used to learn the basics of animation, which some of it applies to hand-drawn animation, even though it is still stop frame. Resources, though, I just kind of try to emulate stuff I like. I didn't really follow too many tutorials. This method of animation with Photoshop, I kind of just developed on my own. Apparently, some other people do animate in Photoshop as well. And there's a plugin that I use called Animator Toolbar Pro, which someone developed, which makes animating in Photoshop a lot easier. Thanks, Panda. Do you remember / use your dreams? I actually don't really remember most of my dreams. There's only a few dreams I remember, and not recently. I haven't really been able to remember many dreams. And I do try to use, sometimes I use imagery from stuff I've seen in a dream or whatever, but it usually ends up not looking very good for some reason, so I don't know, not really. Okay, I'll go. So it's more like a crab than a spider. I guess I'll put more eyes on it like that. I should probably put on a bed of leaves or something. Just select all that, and then I can just draw underneath them. Squash and stretch. Virgo Toxicosis. So, thank you, man, for hanging out. Can you link the animation tool in the description? Yeah, I'll put it in there next time. But if you just search Animator's Toolbar Pro on Google, you'll definitely find it. It's like, that's what I use, and it's a plugin for Photoshop. Yep. Have you ever had some really hardcore fever dream? Yeah, but I don't really remember them. That's the thing. You know, I try to block those ones out. So I don't really remember much of my dreams. Usually it's just like a dream where I get mad for no reason. And I just wake up and I'm mad. It's really stupid. Like I talk in my sleep apparently. I don't know. Yeah, man, no worries. It's a really good plugin. It's basically just a bunch of scripts, but it helps a lot, and we're doing some stuff. They should release Cheetos looking like that. Maybe for Halloween. They should make some camel spider Cheetos. Alright, let's save this, because I didn't even save this, and if my computer crashed, I would just be screwed. So, sorry guys. I don't have a folder for episode 10 yet. Plates of food. Okay. Did you know that camel spiders can run up to 10 kilometers an hour and chase people around to hide in the shadows? Well, that's a good fact to know. That is terrifying. It is, Josh, it's hard to make things look too polished sometimes. It's a matter of looking things, like it has to look somewhat crappy and also like good at the same time. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but if that makes any sense. Because the thing is, if you make something look kind of crappy, it's actually it's just kind of like off, and but in a funny way sometimes. People find it funny. And the thing is, if I made everything look realistic, like super realistic, it would just take too long. You know? All right, guys. What else did you guys say? Shrimp? Maybe I should do shrimp. It's like a little bowl of shrimp or something. Oops. I'll put this right here, actually. Let's make the bowl pink. I'm going to merge these layers now. It's just getting to a point where it's make a shrimp with Shrek ears. Mick Tonight cameo for interface, I call it. Oh, right, I remember that, yeah. How do you know when to finish an episode of interface? Well, the thing is like, if you run the risk of taking your animations too seriously, like if the storyline is too serious, like honestly, the first, like this last episode was kind of like, it was like getting too serious, like the octopus was being all dramatic and everything. And I was like, this needs some comedic relief, like immediately. Otherwise, it's going to be like the animation is just trying too hard. So after this kind of like speech, the octopus goes on. I was like, well, it would make funny. It'd be funny if like if Mischief just kind of just like, I don't know, like he kind of like the seriousness of the situation just goes over his head, and he just tells that guy to leave for being weird in the middle of the room. It's hard to say when I know when an episode finishes. All I know is that once, it feels like once you get to a point, you just like kind of have to wrap it up, and I don't really know. I mean, it depends what I'm doing too. Like if I had more people working with me or on these episodes, I'd probably make them longer. It's yeah. How much do you think someone would have to pay you in order to eat a dead but cooked camel spider? I don't know, because like it depends on if it's like the whole thing, you know. I don't know if I would do it. Probably like, it would have to be a lot. I don't really have an answer to that. Okay, I'm gonna just look up shrimp. I know what shrimp look like, but sometimes it just helps to get a reference image. Yeah, let's make it like giant shrimp. What do you call it? Big shrimp? You know, like those big shrimps that you can get. Okay, I'll just. Put this up here so I can see it. Caroline's back. All right. So I guess it's kind of like whitish at the top. Hi, Caroline.
Hi. My woodpecker friends came back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's 2 woodpeckers in the tree.
Okay.
They're munching food
Yeah.
and fighting with each other. You have 200 people watching?
Yeah, there's a lot of people here today.
What the fuck?
I know, it's been crazy. The chosen one. I thank you, man. I appreciate that. And thank you very much.
Hi.
It says, you are a true hero out in the fields. Well, thank you, chosen one. I appreciate it. I'm going to get some shrimp here. So this is just the black outlines. And sometimes it's easier just for me to draw them like this, and then I fill them in afterwards.
Who's that voice?
What's that? That's Carolina back there.
Hi. Big H.
Oops.
Yes, I am. Animate shrimp.
Yeah, Caroline is Polish. Well, she's Canadian now, but she's also Polish.
You don't tell me who I am. Yeah, it looks like a spider.
It's a camel spider. Hello, magic is everything. Tintrini, thank you.
Is this your reference photo?
Yeah. It's oh. I gotta get the little tail so I didn't draw those. Hippie 69. To an Eric Van.
It's a beautiful quote.
Uʻmɑːmi, uʻmɑːmi. Oops.
Do I do art? Yes. Sometimes I work on these animations.
Carolina has been helping me with some of the animations. Like, you guys know the soup bowl video, right? The woman's face was drawn by Carolina. She also drew Tinky Winky's face. Because sometimes I have a hard time drawing people's faces, and Carolina is much better at that than I am.
Hi. From Canada.
Carolina also does her own live stream. She does oil paintings and watercolors. And if you guys are interested in watching some of that, you can check out the description. I put it in the link. So she does it on Twitch.
It's really hard to look me up. You just put art, and then you put Carolina, and then you find everything you need to know.
Does those look like shrimps?
They should be more pink, Justin.
Yeah.
They're kind of like an orange spider right now.
They kind of look like shrimps.
They're too orange.
Oh, you know what? The bottom should be red, maybe. Okay, I'm missing some of the text here.
They're just talking about me.
Oh,
All
yeah.
about me right now, okay?
The Japanese put mantis shrimp on sushi.
Oh, really?
Mantis shrimp. I should get some mantis shrimp too, maybe.
None of this frozen
crab
Sobe.
fish. Yeah.
Sobe shrimp that you're referencing.
Yeah.
Loblaws shrimp.
How much time goes into a short like the hot boomer action? Rebecca, that one took, I think that took like 3 days. It wasn't very long because it's actually like the same shot for like the most of it, but it took like 3 like 10-hour days. Like it took a long time despite it being only 3 days. It was because that animation has a lot of detail for some reason, like a lot of detail. Like his hat blows away and like he's like turning the wheel on the.
Yeah, they're too gray instead of white.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
But your photo has like the white set wrong, so you are painting them gray for no reason.
That looks a little bit better, right? Sort of.
Are
It
these
needs
eggs?
a little bit of red. Huh?
Is this eggs?
Yeah, they're supposed to be scallops.
Oh, they look like that.
Do they?
Yeah, but someone thinks they're eggs.
Maybe they need more like grit or something, I think.
Something. They look like really rancid eggs right now.
SCR freak. Not really. I haven't really been influenced by existentialism, but I mean, I've read some books that kind of touch on it, such as the book Shantaram. So I don't know. It's probably just kind of seeps in. I don't do it really intentionally, I guess. Hey, Umami, I saw that your Mischief hoodie is available for only 2 days. I'm down to cop it someday. For everything that's on the merch on Teespring, I don't know why it like counts down days that it's available, and then it will like print a batch, and then it like automatically resets. So if you can't get it within 2 days, just check back, and it should still be there. It just for some reason it like makes it look like it's counting down. I don't know if there's a setting that I can switch it or not, but it's just because of the way Teespring works. It will definitely be there if you check it again. Duck Sick, how did you come up with Mischief's design? He's probably the only clown face I find appealing. I drew him like 10 years ago in a comic book, in a comic strip that I published on my Patreon. And I kind of used him as the... I don't really know how he came about. I think I just somehow drew him, and it worked. And I kind of liked the way he looked. Yeah, it's not really a great answer there, but like, that's how it is, I guess. Yeah, hippie. It's sometimes, yeah, it's pretty brutal in these animations sometimes. Like, why do they? My friend tried to get me to do these animations. Like he came over and he's basically what made me start doing these again, because he's like, why aren't you doing animations? And the answer I had was like, animations take too much friggin' time. But yeah, I guess I'm doing it now. It's too late to back out. Gotta do these things. I'm gonna scroll down here. I'm missing some of the text. Awakened Saxon. That stuff was actually rotoscoped from a pre-existing brain scan. And I do some tricks with After Effects to make it look like I drew it, but I didn't draw it all by hand. That would have taken forever. Did you ever have foodgasm after watching drawn food, anime food, for example? No, I haven't. However, there's like some video game, I think, that like I don't know, it's like an anime video game. And they make food that looks almost photorealistic. I forget what it's called. I shouldn't even... Is the plot for interface fully completed from A to Z? I should probably put this in my FAQ, actually. I know what's going to happen at the end. That's what I'm saying. For the season or whatever. And what happens in between now and then. I have the next couple episodes planned out, but nothing's like solid, you know, things change. So how red-pilled are you, Umami? Well, let's just say that when WikiLeaks was releasing all that emails last in 2016, I was pretty much going through them all. And not that it means I believe in any of the theories behind some of the things that came out, but I try to keep up on pretty much everything. Are you inspired by Pilot Red Sun or vice versa? Yeah, definitely inspired by the aesthetics of Pilot Red Sun. However, it seems that besides the pixels, though, like the pixelated nature of things, it's not exactly the same. It's a little bit similar. But, maybe I should leave that on a separate layer in case I decide to animate it. You know? Let's just call this shrimps. Rebecca Ball. Yeah, I might have the octopus chef back again. I don't know why I chose something with 8 tentacles. It took me forever to animate. The nemesis being, I do the voices for Mischief, but everyone else I've been hiring, or they've been providing voices. They've offered voices for me. Let's see, what else should I put in this drawing, guys? Another bowl or something over here, maybe? A lot of bowls. Let's maybe put something else, not a bowl, like a box or something. Have you seen that full-length VHS video that somebody has made? Yeah, I have, actually, because he asked me before he uploaded it if he could do it, and I said, yeah, go ahead. So I've definitely seen it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. One time I drew some character for which the mouth was inspired by the mouth of the creepy house guest meme, and it kind of looks like Mischief. I guess that's why it looks familiar. That's true. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I kind of used to just like draw random characters all the time, like in a sketchbook, and this guy kind of just popped out as being sort of iconic looking in some way. I think it's because of his eyelashes and his eyebrows, and that like his face kind of looks like a human's face. Who did the voice for Palm? That's Christopher. What's his name? You know, the guy that does Batman? I didn't like hire him or anything. I just took his voice from the movie Psycho. I'm never gonna do a Wendy's themed video. I might someday. I just haven't thought of anything yet. It's been difficult for me to come up with ideas for some reason, because well, I don't know why really, but that's the hardest part, is coming up with ideas. Okay, let's just I'm just gonna look up the word Japanese food. Hold on. Star Trek or Star Wars? Oh. Hold on, guys. Just popped up in the corner there. I'm not too much of a fan of the new Star Wars. So, I haven't really watched any of Star Trek, so I can't really answer that question. I guess I'll answer that question with the Alien franchise instead. Umbrius Dixian. Hey man, I appreciate that. Thank you. I noticed a lot of your animations last 31 seconds. Why is that? They're actually, well, they're 30. YouTube might be displaying it as 31, but it's because when I was starting out the channel, I was trying to get it to grow. And so if you make animations and you post them on YouTube Haiku, they tend to do pretty well. And that's basically how I got the channel to grow, because I was at like 3,000 subscribers and it was hard. Now I feel like I have enough subscribers, I don't really need to do that so much, but I'll still be doing them once in a while because there's some people on YouTube Haiku that like the animations. Would you consider making a Mischief soundboard? Yeah, I would actually. I wouldn't know how to do the programming for it, though. I don't know how easy it is to make a soundboard. Do people use soundboards anymore? That was a big thing in like the early 2000s. The Nemesis Beam. Someone is actually in the process of doing an analysis. I love to see people interpret the animations because, you know, I think that's part of the fun in doing these animations is seeing people's interpretations. If you guys know the channel Nightmare Expo, he is doing a interpretation of the interface series. It'll be coming out in a couple of weeks, I guess. And the Let's Read channel, he helped me out a while ago by kind of getting the word out there on my animations back in the day. And there was also like a horror channel. You know, the more people that talk about it and stuff, the better I think it is. It's just forms of advertising, I guess. Okay, I got a little box there. I don't know what to put in it. Garlic. How often do you use 3D animation? Once every couple episodes. You know, if there's an episode where I think I really need to use it, I'll put it in there. It's difficult for me to do though, so I don't do it too often. Adruga, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, let's just like make a random vegetable. I think that would be kind of funny. What is this, like asparagus sticks or something? You know what? I should do that in black first. Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Rebecca. Malu Sandig. They usually take around 50 to 60 hours. And it seems like every episode I do, it takes me a little bit longer because I get more picky about what I'm doing. Do we have any desserts on the table? That's a good question. I should probably put some desserts in there. Whatever this is, maybe some sort of dessert. Some candy stick or something. The dimensions on my frame are 640 by 480. Sometimes I draw it at 800 by 600, and I shrink it down in After Effects. My videos are basically 640 by 480, and then I upscale them to 4K for YouTube. Thanks, Malu. Roti, how do you make your 3D scenes? I might just do a live stream sometime of that, but I'll have to ignore the chat when I do it because it requires, for me, it requires focus because I can't, it's confusing. Basically, I use Cinema 4D Lite with After Effects. And I tried doing it earlier this stream, but then I just gave up because I can't, I really need to like focus on what I'm doing when I do 3D stuff, otherwise I just end up wasting time. Chocolate mousse, eh? What did you think of the VHS re-upload of your series? I think it was pretty cool. The only thing is that it's a little dark, so you can't see some of the details. If I were to have someone do that again, I'd probably like send them an export where everything, like the black levels are raised quite a bit, because VHS has different black levels than the internet does. And so if you take something without raising the black levels and putting it on VHS, it will not look the same. That's my only complaint. I guess it's a little dark, and you miss some of the details. But I like how it looks, though. It's pretty cool. Eli Morgan, don't worry, I won't forget. Fitiju? Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. No, I don't use MS Paint. It would take forever if I did that. What type of comedy do you like? Oh. Well, the kind of comedy that I like versus the kind of comedy that I'm capable of making is a little bit different. So I'm a big fan of Bill Burr, but I don't think I would be able to do any sort of comedy that he does. I kind of try to play to my strengths, which is low-key sort of surrealist humor, I guess. I don't really know if that makes any sense. I'm not really a comedian, so it's hard for me to come up with jokes and funny situations. Patrice O'Neill is also one of my favorites, who unfortunately is gone, passed away. Japanese dango. Let me look that one up. Any reason why you use Photoshop over Flash? Yes, the reason is that with Flash, you can't really get these sharp, hard pixels. As far as I know. Oh, that looks like something I could draw. That would be pretty cool. Let's see. Maybe the colored ones. Okay. That's a good one. Thank you for that suggestion. Now, where do I put them? I think I'm going to move some things around. Ah. Valentino, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. I love you. Yeah, I appreciate that. What is the sound effect that always coincides with the static? What programs do you use for sound design? I made them in Logic X or Logic Studio, and just a bunch of different plugins, I guess. And I use that. I made a whole bunch when I started the series, and I'm trying to keep things consistent, so I use them throughout. I think the humor that's in the series is way more fitting than Bill Burr-esque jokes. Mischief is more entertaining when he does weird shit. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's about... It wouldn't even make sense to have Bill Burr-like jokes in this kind of series. It just... That's the kind of humor that I find funny, I guess. But I wouldn't even know what to say, what kind of humor it is. Oh, shit. I guess that's emergent stuff. I'm just going to move this over so I can have some more space. Claudia T. Have I done much animation before? I've done some old Lego animations when I was a teenager, and then I stopped doing that. I went to film school, did some live action stuff, a bunch of documentaries, and then I slowly started getting into animation again last year with this channel. I did a few tests, I guess, before I uploaded anything. Nothing that was really good, though. And that's basically it. So, I mean, if you look at the McDriven video, it's actually really, really rough. Like, it looks like... It doesn't even look like I drew it at this point, because it's, like, so different from my current stuff. But, yeah, it's only been about a year. Surrealist dry humor. Yeah. I tried to donate, but I failed. I don't know how to use debit cards. I should consider adding some garlic. I will add some garlic. Camilio, no worries if it doesn't work. I just appreciate that you guys are in here talking with me. The humor comes from characters and likely situations with driven tones. Yeah, John 144. And here's the thing, though. I hope it doesn't become like a crutch. Like where all the humor just ends up being that it's like a weird situation, and it's like the character is just unusual. You know what I mean? Because I think that's going to get old after a certain point, don't you think? Try to incorporate some other types of humor if it's possible, but I still want it to make it sort of match, if that makes any sense. I gotta bring things down a bit. There, this is looking a little bit better. Looking like a full plate of stuff, or a full table of stuff. Oh, loyal theorist. Okay, cool, man. Thanks, Eli. I think most people can draw like this. You can just, it's the thing is, you have to just, you got to start, you know, just start practicing. And if you have to trace over stuff, like if you have to trace over things. I have a really cheap Wacom tablet. I wouldn't be able to do this with a mouse, but the Wacom tablet I'm using is like 40 bucks. I got it off eBay used, so Carolina got it off eBay used. And hey, Winter Fisher, check out the description. I got a whole bunch of information about that. Do you experiment with other art styles before going into Pixel? I used to do a lot of paintings, or yeah, Adobe. A lot of paintings with oil and acrylics. So, so I guess that was what I experimented with, and a lot of that ends up being that I use the same colors, similar looking aesthetics, but it's pixelated now. Wabi Sawa. Right now I'm focused on the interface stuff. I'm brainstorming some other ideas, but right now it's basically whenever I can't think of a meme video, I will do the interface stuff. And because I have a lot, I know what to do with the interface stuff, the memes stuff. I don't really know what to do next after I make one, so. Oh, I guess there's only a stick on one side. Not everyone can draw like that, because most of them are lazy asses. Well, Tempname, that's the thing. It's not so much that you can't do it, it's just that you have to have some sort of discipline. And it's hard for some people to do this, have a discipline when it comes to creating things. And you have to practice a lot, and yeah. But I feel like if people just practice a little bit, they could get pretty close to trying stuff like this pretty quickly. How do you come up with ideas? Corescape Productions, a lot of the ideas just kind of float in and out of my head from making music. Like I make a music track, and I think, oh, it would be cool to have with this, right? And that's kind of how I've been doing things. I mean, when I did the McDriven video, I didn't really know what I was doing. At first I thought, hey, it would be funny to draw Ronald McDonald driving a car in the desert, and then him looking into the sunset. And then while I was doing the animation, I thought, whoa, like, it'd be funnier if the sun turns into a hamburger. I mean, the idea didn't just come to me all at once. It comes to me in like pieces, you know? And when you're working on it, you can kind of critique the idea and be like, what will make this better, you know? Do you follow that rule, draw every day? Do you have rules for your own improving your drawing? I don't have that rule. I don't draw every day either. I think you need to take some breaks. What I think you need, your rule has to be is you have to be able to go back to your old stuff and see what's wrong with it and try to improve on it and be critical to yourself. I think that's more important than drawing every day. I don't draw every day. With these animations though, just in terms of being able to have a release schedule, I try to get something done at least once every day, and if not, I try to get 2 things done on one day and then skip a day. Because otherwise, if I don't have some sort of discipline, it will be it's just gonna. I would never get anything released. I don't think you need to draw every day to increase your skills, but you have to be critical of yourself. That's important. And listen to the critiques and advice of others, but also know when that to not ignore them, but know that when, you know, you don't have to take everything that they say. As like objective, you know, because art is so subjective. And what one person likes, another person doesn't like, you know? Okay. It took a while to do. Let's go down here. Would you ever consider selling merchandise? Asking for a friend. The Nemesis Bean. I do sell some stuff on Teespring, so if you're interested, you can... I just drew that on the wrong layer again. You can check out the... it's in the link below. There's some t-shirts and hoodies and posters and stuff. I don't have anything like custom made yet, though. Besides the prints that I'm giving out on Patreon. Those are kind of like... I made those, and I've got a bunch here, and I ship them out myself. What's my favorite superhero? It's not a dumb question, Winterfisher. I actually like Batman the most because he is able to do stuff without superpowers. Sorry, there's a lot of text here. I gotta scroll down. Sorry, guys. So I improved every particle's move at the speed of light. That's kind of low level. How's your day going? How about your music career? Well, it's not really a music career, but I guess a side benefit of doing these animations is that my music has become more popular. And I've been doing music for about 10 years and putting them out on Bandcamp, and they've just been getting nowhere. But ever since doing these animations, things have increased quite a bit. That's partially why I started doing these animations, actually. So. Just to promote some of my music. But you know what? Like I don't think I would ever do music as like a live performance sort of thing. I'll just do it on a computer and release it on albums. So I can't really. Well, that's not really my cup of tea, you know. All right, there's my desserts. Okay. Sebastian, I am 12. I am 12 years old. I'm 28. Dango just reminds me of Clanhead. Clanhead. What is Clanhead? The music group? I speak French and English, and I don't speak Japanese. I wanted the chef to be authentically Japanese, though, so I found a guy who does voices in Japanese. What musicians do you like? Massive Attack, Bjork, Lauren. I actually got a playlist down in the description. There's a link there and you'll see a whole bunch of different things. I can't really name them off the top of my head, but yeah, they're all listed down there. Umami, if by any chance you ever need a user speaking Russian, I'm at your service in Discord. All right, man. I will keep that in mind. Maybe sometime. It's a possibility. Do you like Radiohead? I like some of Radiohead's songs. I'm not really a big fan though.
Why not?
I don't know. I just never really got into them that much.
Is your counter frozen?
Yeah, maybe. Hold on.
The number hasn't changed at all.
Let me just reset this. Yeah, there we go. Still a lot of people though. Portishead, yeah, they're also good. Frantic Peaches. Make an animation about SCP. Oh, someone mentioned that before. Let me just look it up. Yeah, I mean, I would consider it, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to do that and the interface stuff at the same time. Okay, I have to move on here. I have to get rid of this. Cameron, can you give me some more water, please?
Want some coffee?
Okay, I'll have some. This is quite a colorful table full of food. Ever heard of Flash Interface series by Mother Horse Size? Name, surname. I've heard of them after I started doing this interface stuff because people are like, is this inspired by that? And I didn't even know about it. So, and then I didn't want to like read about it either because I was like, if this is kind of similar, I don't want to like get ideas from it like it's like I'm plagiarizing it or whatever. And it's just a coincidence that it's the same name. And I don't know really what it's about other than that there's some sort of monsters or something, I guess. I don't know. So Clanad is a Japanese animation series. Oh, I see. I'm not familiar with it. Camilio. That's cool, man. Yeah, I would consider it. Let's see what else is there. You should draw my favorite food. My favorite food is nachos, I think. So I don't know if that would make sense in a Japanese restaurant. Tipsy Duck, temp name. Okay, I'll look that one up. I am not familiar with that either, so I will look up Tipsy Duck because I would be curious to see what that is like. That is some loud-ass coffee. Yeah, I got my mic. My mic is just a webcam mic, and it's kind of like jacked up because my AC machine is on, and I have like a sound removal filter turned on. So someday I'll get a better mic for these live streams. You can hear all my slurps, you know? Maybe can I give some marketing and networking advice? I mean, freelancing stuff. How did you start and such? Being a pure internet, while I know like people hate Facebook and stuff, but Facebook is actually a good place to get freelance work as a video editor or as a person who works on corporate videos. So if you're on Facebook, search for film and production jobs in your city or town or province or state, and you may be able to find something, because that's kind of how I got started out. And then it got to a point where I didn't like the direction of where some of these groups were going. There too many people were just like posting free jobs, like unpaid jobs. So I started my own group and got a bunch of people to join that on Facebook. But I'm sure you could probably find something pretty decent in your area. The thing is, once you make a few connections, either in corporate videos or editing, and you're good, they will keep you for a long time. And then they will even recommend you to other people. So it's the key is getting a couple people that rely on you, and that will pretty much help you jumpstart your freelancing career. I think you have to network, and Facebook groups is probably one of the best places to do it. So. I should make the oysters more grayish so they don't look like eggs. Yeah, that's a good idea. Toaster mic. Yeah, it is pretty shit. I have to. I got an audio interface on my Mac laptop over there, but my Mac laptop is so slow. It takes like 10 minutes to start up, and I'm thinking of like replacing it. So once I do that, I'll be doing animations on my whatever that new computer is, and then I'll probably get a mic. The problem is the audio interface is over there, and I don't have a mic. So right now, you guys get the potato mic. What am I doing here? I'm supposed to be drawing something. All right, making these things more gray. Maybe like kind of textured too, I guess. It's supposed to be like a shell, right? The laugh is fun. SVP Reactor Rally for animation. I'll have to check that out. Can we have a bit of music? Yeah, I suppose I could play some music. I find that when I draw stuff and stream things at the same time, it gets a little confusing for me. But I will play some music, and you guys let me know if it's too loud or whatever. Just all right, because I can turn the monitoring off so it doesn't. Hold on. I'll just play my last album, which is just 2 tracks for now. Okay. Can you guys hear that? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can pick that up. The thing is, I can't play music that I don't have the rights to. Am I going to add shadows to this set? That's actually a good idea. I should probably do something like that. I should get some classical music that has public domain or whatever, and probably stream with that. It'd be kind of nice because there's some stuff on useopen.org that basically allows you to publish with attribution or whatever. So I could just make a playlist of that. Yeah, I know. The thing is, I always put the music in like at like the end when I'm like just about to leave. But I'm gonna try to stick around for a little bit longer. I'll put that song on next Source Week. It should be coming up next. Yeah, so if any of you guys are interested, all my music, you can download it off for free. It's pay what you want, and it's on this website here. I was supposed to link. Also, I have a YouTube channel where I upload my music, just like the full albums and stuff, so I can also post that. It's only got 149 subscribers. I haven't really been advertising it, that's why. But it's right there. Your animations are amazing, but you could put some frogs in them. You know what? Freetopian, that's not a bad idea. I could put a frog sometime. It might take me a while, though. I have to have a reason why I add characters, and yeah. I like frogs in them, so. What's your favorite part of animating? Are there parts of the process you come or Claudia T, I think my favorite part is combining the music with the animations. That's probably my favorite part. Now I gotta get something here. I'm gonna just hold on, guys. So I've got this like character model of Mischief that's with all his expressions. The album covers I also did those. They're photographs I took a while ago. Do you have any celeb lookalikes just to hold us over until you finally get pressured into doing a face reveal? I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't thought about it that much. Sorry. Okay, so with this character, I think I can kind of just. Well, he's not even smiling. When I animate Mischief, I do it all in Premiere. But I put him into here just so that just so that I can like kind of place him, so I know where he's going to be. This is kind of funny. He looks pretty excited to be eating all this food. Hey, Camilo, thanks for hanging out. Nicholas Salon, do you have a Utip account? I don't have a Utip account. I'm not really sure what that is. I'm sorry. I'm guessing it's some sort of a donation thing, maybe. I don't. I have Streamlabs, which is in the description. Ah, thank you for the super chat. Ah, I appreciate that, man. Food. I actually, the funny thing is like sometimes I'll just place a character in, and it's not what I had in mind, but it ends up being something that like I like, so I might keep it for the animation. Like I might just have him be like this, because it's pretty funny actually. Like have him just be like this, and then just, I don't know. We'll see. I have to put his chair in place. So started out with 640 by 480, but I might have to make the height a little bit higher now. Oops. Let's get rid of this background thing. Have you ever worked on production for any games before? I made a video game called Playing with Food, which is on itch.io, and it's just like really a bad breakout game, except it's like pasta instead of blocks. Otherwise, I don't really have any experience with that. There's a guy going between streams. Insane donations, I see. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. If I was like a billionaire or something like that, it'd probably be something I would be doing. It'd be kind of funny. Oh. Oh my god. My table. Utip is a platform where people can watch ads to remunerate their artists. Okay, Nicholas, I haven't. I'll check it out. I don't know anything about it, but I'll take a look at it maybe. I got the channel linked up with the Bat coin, the Bat browser, Brave browser, which is sort of the same thing. I think. I don't know if it's the same thing actually. But, this would be a good poster, I think. Nicholas pledged $5. So thanks, man. I appreciate that so much. Well, my character is shrinking in the corner of the screen. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, Nicholas. You will be getting a poster soon. I usually send them out on the 1st of the month. Save my work, yeah. Do you have a video I want to do that you might get taken down by YouTube? I haven't really thought of an idea that I was afraid that will get taken down by YouTube yet, because I haven't really been doing anything too controversial, I guess. Nothing too violent. I don't even think I have any swear words in my animations, which is kind of odd, I guess, because, you know. No, I guess I haven't really been too worried about that. My God, make this a poster. I'm gonna have to make this a poster because this is just this looks too nice. I'll have to do some touch-ups or something too, I guess. Maybe. So right now he's got like the back banister here or whatever. That's a neat game. I just started out with Unity. It works like magic, really convenient. Yeah, I mean, I got into it for a little bit. Then I realized, you know, programming is not really my cup of tea. So I would probably do a game sometime, I guess. Just get some people and pay them, stuff like that. Right now, though, I'm just occupied with these animations. In the art competitions, the only submitted piece that really sticks out with me is a take on Tame Impala's Currents album. Just wanted to say that. Sir Squeak. Where are these art competitions? Sorry, I might have missed something. Zuck might take offense and have you shadow banned. It's a possibility. I have a feeling that he might just at least find the humor in some of them. Oh, my music ended. Let me just play the next song. Gotta go now, but always remember, whenever you're feeling down, think of Morgan Freeman, because he's definitely thinking of you. Well, thank you, Tom Peck. That is good advice. Just think of Morgan Freeman. Alright, I'm gonna get this chair done. It's drawn at the wrong perspective. Move it to the side. Just zoom in here a bit. Temp name. Hold on. The art competitions on Discord, I mean. I think the one I'm talking about for a while. Oh, right. Mischief. There are 2 fans wanting Mischief Chan. What is Mischief Chan? I guess like an anime Mischief? That wouldn't be up to me to do. Someone do some fan art, but I don't think I can draw that style. Is the music too quiet? What do you think of people making fan art? I think the fan art's great. I really like seeing it. Do you think the series will be popular enough to warrant it? I think so. I mean, the series is really not even that old. It just kind of started, and if I keep making episodes, it's just granted to get more popular. So there's probably going to be fan art. There's probably going to be some Rule 34, which I'm going to have to. It just comes with the territory. I don't mind it. Whatever it is, I think it's just, you know, it's pretty cool, I guess. Hold on, guys. I'm having a hard time with my stream here. Advanced audio problems. I don't know why it's not playing the music. You know, I'm sorry, guys. I can't get the music to work right now. I'm just gonna have to. Some other day, I'm gonna sit down and try to figure it all out. Maybe get a playlist going, you know, and play it so that I can't listen to it because it confuses me sometimes. R34 is too Snoopy, man. What is real? Oh, what do you? Okay, what do you feel about the explosion of R34? I didn't know there was an explosion. Is it getting more popular or something? I guess with people like Shadman and stuff, it's like becoming a huge thing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like if someone was doing it, like for instance, just like using all of my characters to just like draw Rule 34 and then like charging people for it, I don't know how I would feel about that. My experience with it is people usually just draw it to kind of like as a joke, you know. But I don't really know. I haven't really had to think too much about it yet because it hasn't really been a problem for me. Are you planning on making several seasons of Interface? Yes. So I don't know when a season will end, but that is the goal. Unless something happens, like, you know, who knows where the series might go, but yeah, that is the goal for now. I'm sorry if you are speaking Russian. I do not understand. I don't speak Russian. Does the octopus chef have a name? I haven't thought of his name yet, actually. A lot of the times I don't come up with the names until quite a bit later. So, oh, well, thank you, Carolina. Do you need a little help with translation? I can do Russian subs if you need to. Greg Gazer.
Give me your cup.
Gazer. Someone has been translating them into Russian, so maybe they're not all translated into Russian, but if you're up for it, you can do it.
And munch all that food?
Well, in this episode, he's trying to get Henrik to eat something.
Wow.
How are you a 30-year-old boomer? I don't know if I really qualify for a boomer. I don't really doing yearbook and stuff. Sorry. Okay. All right, so there's the back of the bench. I think it needs to be a little thicker, maybe, especially near the top. Oops. There, that's better. Merge these two down. All right, save this. Now in the restaurant, there's I guess it can just be a wall. I think, like he's sitting in the back wall. But that's kind of boring though, so maybe I might put some other stuff. Since when does Henrik smile? He smiled just a tiny little bit in the eighth episode. Just a little bit.
You go, Your Highness.
Oh, thank you, Karen. If I get rid of mischief for a second. Oh, looks like I missed some details here. Because if I'm animating him later, he might like not be.
You munch.
If I do some subs, Discord. Yeah, man, Discord's fine. Yeah. All right, guys. Just give me a minute. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom.
You have some poop?
Yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, yes. So I'm just going to be finishing up here. I'm not going to get too much else done. I think I'm just going to clean up some of the stuff here and probably call it a day. I'm going to draw another bench back there. How was the poop? Oh, it was strenuous.
Very fast poop.
Okay. Speed wipe.
Bidet blast.
I had that bidet on full blast.
Nasty.
It was like a fire hose.
Nasty.
Like I tore something.
You're full of water now.
By the way, what 3D animation are you using? It looks like some games now. It's cell shading with Cinema 4D and tracing the outlines with After Effects. What inspires you in making new music? I don't really know. I just try to make music that I would enjoy listening to myself. And I don't really know. I'm sorry. I mean, you can read more about my inspiration in the description. I got a lot of stuff down there.
You don't know what inspires you to make music?
Not really. I mean, I got music that I like listening to. I don't really, it's hard for me to explain things. Cave? Alvanus? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, I just drew over something. What am I doing here? Okay, okay, there we go. There's something wrong there. Alright, good. Looks like he's at Applebee's or something. Applebee's. Okay. Let's go back here. Kawinjin 24. What is your biggest dream to achieve? I don't know. I kind of want to turn this interface into something bigger than it is right now. Right now, I'm really happy with how it's going though on YouTube. But if it could turn into like a feature film with like some funding behind it, that would be pretty sweet. Hey, Sir Squeak, thanks for hanging out. See you next time, perhaps, or whatever it is next time. And Tarded, oh, thank you, man. And Rule Zero, hello. What's my smallest dream? Oh.
What is your smallest dream?
What is my smallest dream? What's your smallest dream, Carolina?
My smallest dream?
Yeah.
Huh. Never thought about my smallest dream.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it. Like, what's something that you want to do that's not really going to be much work? Or is that what it means, anyway, having a small dream?
Well, yeah, I guess so. My small dream was to buy a leather jacket.
Carolina wants a leather jacket. Which,
like a nice one.
Yeah, that's not such a big dream. It's a small dream.
It's a small dream.
It's just a matter of doing it. You don't even have to do anything.
I just have to get off my ass and go find like a place to get a good leather jacket and buy it. So that's a pretty small dream. What's your small dream?
Well, I don't have one yet, so I'll have to think about that.
Really? You have nothing you want to accomplish that's small?
In the short term?
Yeah.
Buying new underwear because I ran out. That's my small dream.
Okay, I'm going in your stream and clipping that.
Why don't you use the Sugary Despair Discord anymore? I just haven't really had much time. I've been... And there's just a lot of memes in there. There's not much like anything else, so... I check in once in a while, but I've been really busy last month, at least. Magda Domaraca, well, thank you for the comment on that, on my music. Thank you.
No!
Rule 0. Hey, that's great, man. I'm happy that it's inspiring you to like write and stuff and helping you. Because I think that's important, you know. Definitely some animators and stuff out there that inspired me. So. No worries, foot cheese.
Talking to my speaker.
Rody, you have some fan art for me? You can either send it to my email address, which is on my About page, or you can post it in a Discord and like tag my name like @Umami, and I'll see it. That's probably the best way.
Where does the sound come out of my computer? Oh, I found it.
Why is Henrik Nebieski not just Henry Blue? I don't know. It makes him a little bit more interesting, I guess, that he's not just literally blue. I mean, I could have just called him Henry Blue or Blue. It would just went a little bit on the nose, you know. Saying, you know, Nebieski is kind of like, oh, in Polish that means blue, so maybe he is Polish. Kind of like adds to his backstory a bit.
Oh, man.
Maybe his family heritage is Polish. Doesn't mean that he's Polish, you know, because apparently he worked in the U.S. military. So, foot cheese. The merch store should be in the link in the description below. And Tarded, I got an idea of where the story is going. I answered this question a lot already, actually, but I got an outline in my head. Okay, so what I got? Mischief here. I got a couple booths, and I'm going to draw a window. Add some more details. I wonder if that's too much of a window. Just have a little bit of a window over here. It's also not at quite the right perspective. And you know what? I think this is actually, I'll have him facing the other way. This is actually a wall right here. Rule 0, it's a good idea, but I'm limited in terms of what I can do on Teespring. So I don't think I can print on the actual hood. Greg, actually check out the description. It's in my FAQ down there. With all the positivity I see on your channel, I'm really interested. Has there been any kind of hate towards your work? Not really. I haven't really had anyone like hating on it, which is really kind of surprising because on YouTube you're always going to get someone, no matter what you do, who's going to hate it. And maybe people like disliked my videos, but I haven't actually had people like in the comments like being like,
Wow.
really mad. You know?
Sometimes people get confused about that Thomas meme. Because they expect a nice Thomas the Tank Engine video.
Oh, yeah.
And then the guy's face just peels off.
Okay, I did get one guy who was really mad, like super mad. And he was mad that I made a joke out of Thomas the Tank Engine. And I went to his channel, and it was all Thomas the Tank Engine liked videos and stuff. And
like he was a serious fan. He loved Thomas the Tank Engine, and Dustin just brutalized him.
That was pretty funny, but otherwise, no, I haven't really been receiving much people hating on it. So yeah. Let's see what other questions are going on. Early on in the channel, I saw a lot of negative comments saying your animations was lazy and it's the paint, but as soon as you started making interfaces, I saw it all disappear. Well, yeah. I mean, the first couple animations I did were pretty friggin' rough, and so it's I can see why they would say that. But I mean, it's weird to get mad about it when it's just like on YouTube and it's like free entertainment. Like, why would you get mad about it? Why'd you get mad about anything? You know what I mean? It's like, just don't watch it. But yeah, I think the interface stuff is getting better though. So it's actually been, more people are just pretty positive about it, which is lucky, I guess. Mosby, I hadn't really watched much of that on MTV because I didn't have MTV growing up because I'm Canadian.
I had MTV.
Did you?
Yeah. Fucking.
Well, you had to pay for it extra, right?
Hole in the wall did you live in?
Did you have to pay for it extra?
Well, you paid for cable. Didn't you always have cable?
We had Much Music. We didn't have MTV.
No, I had MTV too. Damn.
I never had.
You
much.
and your Yoo-hoo stick
universe. Maybe because you were in Ontario, Karen.
Yeah, probably.
Well, growing up in Nova Scotia, we didn't have much music. Unless you paid for satellite or something.
Sure didn't have much music, that's for sure.
I think most of the people that download it are people who get it in their recommendations, and they don't know what it's about. Because they're like, what's this? I don't want to see this, and then they just go to it and they just download it. I think that's what it is, actually, most of the time. Hey, Tanner Pasada, well, thank you very much for pledging $5. I really appreciate that. And I'm sending out the prints on the 1st of the month, so you should be getting that in a couple weeks. Now, these booths down here shouldn't actually go out this long. This should be, well, this one should stop, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I feel like these should be closer together. And then, yeah, this should stop, because otherwise the booths are just going to be ridiculous. And even this one, whatever. It's supposed to be like a kitchen door over here. Your animation isn't necessarily for children, but did you intentionally make it family friendly? Yeah, I don't really feel like adding swear words and stuff and like excessive violence is going to increase the enjoyment that people get out of it. And there may be some violent scenes in the future, but not necessarily that bad, I guess. I don't. So I kind of want to keep it to be kind of like family friendly too. You know, I just feel like then there's like a bigger audience. You know, it can be creepy and weird, and you don't have to, you know, restrict yourself to 18 plus or whatever it is.
Is there gonna be sex everywhere?
No, I don't think, you know, especially since I'm doing it on YouTube. But if it were to be like a feature film, maybe I might decide to do something a little bit more risky. You know,
Pretty sure you want to see some mischief action.
I wouldn't. No, that's not.
Just slid around stuff.
I like the mischief beach towel. Something must be wrong with you when you're drawing your butt with that face.
Yeah,
I just did that for fun. I didn't know if anyone would like it.
Personally, I want one.
It looks pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
Pretty good.
It's pretty fun, guys.
Yeah. I got my own real life troll in person here.
That's my job. It's a currency in this household.
Yeah. I just started watching your channel today, and maybe 8 hours ago I saw Thomas turn on. Just ask why. There's no real reason other than it was a funny idea I had. That's about it. Don't really have a reason behind it. Frank Tinsley, someone brought that up actually. I don't know if it was you. Why did the octopus say you can't change your color, but obviously Mischief was a green and yellow sunflower in the previous scene? That's kind of an oversight on my part. The way I'm kind of justifying it is anytime that Mischief has a face, he'll be pink. I guess you can transform into things, but it's like objects that don't have faces intentionally. You can be a different color. Otherwise, if I were to re-release everything, I may change the sunflower to be pink. Just so there's some consistency. And unfortunately with YouTube, I can't upload and replace a file, so that's just how it's going to be for now. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, maybe it's like, you know, the octopus chef doesn't really know. He just assumes that he can only be pink. Literally unwatchable. The thing is to be consistent most of the time, you know? I find that when shows are not consistent, or at least don't try to be consistent, it does become unwatchable though. So I want to avoid that by being as consistent as possible. It's just hard, sometimes I overlook things. Are you available for freelance projects? Kev Cage. I am sort of, but I've been getting a couple commissions recently, and it's been occupying a lot of my time, so I haven't really had much time. If you get like a budget for something, I might be able to consider it. And if you want to send it to me, you can go to my About page, and we can talk for a bit. You could see cerebral electricity, speaking of Mr. Sunflower, perhaps the color change. Okay, right, yeah. The sunflower scene wasn't necessary for the main plot. It was mostly just for comic relief anyway. Yeah, it was also to kind of demonstrate that Mischief didn't want to be just revealing himself to everyone. Like, in the universe, basically, there's these monsters that exist, and people know that they exist. But Mischief takes precautions to not scare people for no reason, like the little kid that shows up in the museum. If I decide to upload, like if I finish a season, whatever I call it a season, I might upload the entire thing combined together, and I might fix some of those oversights. And be like, this is the official version, you know? Who knows? We'll see. Going to do George Lucas edits here now. Yeah, that's another thing too. I don't want to change it too much. However, there's a few things in the earlier episodes that are kind of bothering me. Like the amount that Henrik's fates like gyrates in like the first episode is a little bit excessive.
Those are some really changing details there.
Yeah. I'm not going to change like the plot or anything, obviously. It's just going to be like a few aesthetical things that I might want to touch on. I'm not going to be like completely redoing scenes like George Lucas does, like where he adds like a rock for no reason over a shot. But yeah, it's some people like to keep it the same, you know. I want to get a Mischief hoodie and get it signed. Well, I don't know how to sign that because it would just wash out in the washing machine, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, I can't get them. I can't sign them because that would require it coming to my house first and then me sending it out afterwards. The only thing I sign are the Patreon prints right now. And if I were to do like a longer edition, what I might do is just add one shot in between each episode that kind of like ties them. I think maybe instead of just having black. I don't know. That might be too much work. No way.
Good chapter cards.
Do you think your artwork framing has improved since the start? Yeah, I mean, the thing is that each episode sort of looks a little bit different from the one previous. And that's just only because I'm getting better at it, the animation. And it can be kind of seen as a positive thing. Like when you're watching the series, maybe you're like, that's kind of cool how it's like slowly getting better. Or it could also be seen as like a loss of immersion, you know, especially if you go back to an old episode. The thing is, though, that's kind of how animation is for a lot of shows. Like, even The Simpsons is like that. Like, the first season of The Simpsons looks so brutal. And even the first season of Seinfeld looks, like, weird compared to the rest of it, you know? I think that's just normal for most things. Can you keep the original version of these videos around? Always funny. Oh yeah, Josh Bonds. I would never remove the original uploads, so they'll always be around. But I might like have like a version where it's all combined into one, possibly. Yeah, I don't watch The Simpsons anymore. Stopped watching like 20 years ago.
That's weird to think about. There's actually like 20 years of seasons you haven't seen.
Well, maybe 20 is a little bit much. I probably stopped watching like 15, 20, 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's still like 10 years worth of episodes.
Yeah.
But you probably didn't miss anything because it's so flanderized. There's nothing to miss.
Matthew Lawrence, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. I would probably retouch a few things, but not too much. You know, I don't want to change things. But there's just a few consistency things that I might change, like this little dot on Mischief's nose. If you may have noticed in the first episode, it's not a little reflection; it's like a little line like this. I don't know. That's probably not even important. It just kind of bothers me.
Nope.
I got like OCD for these things. So,
yep.
Yeah. I might just put like a little painting or something up here. SpongeBob post season 3 when the color palette completely changed for the worse. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know the color palette changed. I'll have to look that one up because that sounds pretty interesting. SpongeBob. Do you have like examples of that? I'd like to see it if you have any. I don't know if I can find any. It's DJ Cohen. It's a technique I use in Cinema 4D.
Oh no.
And Mr. Brainiac, that's not. It's After Effects basically made to look like an animation that I drew, but it's not. I didn't draw that because it would have taken forever. The MRI stuff, yeah. Stuff like this though is all done by hand. Like all this is all done by hand. I don't know if that painting back there is distracting. It's like right behind his head. I might just get rid of it actually. It doesn't. Sometimes it's not good to add details for no reason. Oh shit, what's going on? I'll just put more of those black bars. Is this not streaming on Twitch? I don't know. It should be streaming on Twitch.
Let's say 0 viewers on your counter.
It says 4.
Well, then it's working.
Alright guys, I think I'm pretty much done for today. John144, yeah, Discord is probably a good place to send me stuff. So that's what I got done today. It's a fairly detailed shot of Mischief in front of a bunch of food. So thank you guys for hanging out today. I'm going to be finishing up then. I'm finished. John Geist. Just actually check the description on that. I do use a lot of software, synths, and for those sort of things. Yeah, there's a little bit more detail to this than I usually draw, so I don't know what's going to happen, but anyway. Until next time, guys, thank you for hanging out, and thank you for those who have helped me out by contributing to Patreon and Super Chats and stuff. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.